Hi everyone. So I am making this concrete thing. It's going to look something like this once I'm done with it. Like a little rectangle like this, and it's gonna have an address. So what I did, I think I already shared this. I put some silicone in here. I bought this crate container at Lowe's for $12 plus tax. And what I did is I got some cardboard and I printed out some letters and I basically cut it with a scroll saw. So I'm using cardboard. And I'm just using these empty candles. I have one going up there. Anyways, so this is the numbers here. And basically it's going to be, I put them this way because I'm going to pour this with concrete all the way up. Once it hardens, I'm going to remove all this and the numbers are going to be flipped. But anyways, I did this with cardboard and I was thinking, since there's a bunch of laser engravers out there, I was thinking that this type of idea will be great for laser engraving companies. Also, if you guys used styrofoam, and you guys can cater to people that, mess around with concrete projects. I even thought of like a design for, I remember I had a piece of paper. I don't know what I did with it. But, okay, I have a business card here. This is for, well, it doesn't really matter. But I have this this business card here. So I was thinking, what if you guys out there got some thin plastic to engrave on as well? And once you engrave it, if you twist it to make a perfect circle, somehow where it could be a perfect circle, right? Like that. Then people can throw concrete in there, pour concrete in there with the bottom on a flat surface. And basically it could be like a planter if they put another container, like 1 cup inside a cup with obviously concrete inside of it. And there's YouTube videos on how to do that. And so when the concrete is removed, you have something that looks like this with a hole in it for the soil. And then out here you'll have your pattern, whatever the pattern might be. Maybe like an image, whatever. Because with the laser engravers, you can get as detailed as possible or as you want. And so it'll be like kind of like a mug, and it'll have like an image made out of pure concrete just because of the laser engraver. Because obviously I can't take the time to do something like in that much detail and pour concrete over it. I mean, I can, but it will take me a long time, right? So with the engraving machine, you guys can do a lot of that type of work for people who are dealing with this type of stuff. And there's a lot of YouTube videos. People are using a scroll saw. And I also figured when I pour the concrete in here, this is going to be easy to, like fish out with an X-Acto knife or something. and some water. So obviously the concrete will stay, and this will eventually deteriorate. And the same thing is true with, the styrofoam. And I think the great thing about this as well is that you guys can create any type of font. And what I'm doing with these is I'm listing them for $50. So basically when the number is straight, when it's all done, it's going to be a big block and the numbers will be right here. And obviously it'll have like this detail right here. So it'll look like that. Right? And what was I thinking? I was just thinking, yeah, I forget. Honestly, I'm over here overthinking shit. But basically, something like this, catering to people that can use these type of letters for crafts, arts and crafts, it would be super cool. And there's a lot of you out there who have the laser engravers. So this can create jobs for a lot of you. This can create business for all of you. All you have to do is advertise the different fonts that you can cut out with your laser engraver. Program, find the font, program it to, write a name or whatever it is that you want. And, the concrete guy or whoever it is will get it shipped in the mail. They'll receive it. They'll be able to put it on concrete stepping stones and a bunch of other ideas. Because all it really is, like say this thing was a square, right? So if it's a square and say it was like 4 inches, like a stepping stone, say all this was cut off, then I'll be able to put that, that design down here, pour the concrete. When I demold it, basically I'll be able to have that in a stepping stone. So I think it's pretty cool, for people that don't want to take the time to do this or that don't have the money to or the will to be able to do this type of stuff here. So what I did is I put a business card here. So it runs all the way around. All the way on the top. Like that. As much as possible. That way they could be even and straight. And then over here as well, I put this over here. So it has, this spacing. And then I just spaced it out as much as possible in this, these 4 numbers here. And then I used that wood glue. It's Type Bond Original Wood Glue Professional. And I also bought this at like Lowe's or Home Depot. And I do use this one as well sometimes. Well, I use whatever I can, honestly. They both work. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what I'm working on. In case some of you out there want to do your own projects. Because obviously this is not a business for me. This is like a hobby. It gives me something to do. So, yep. Have fun. And this, I'm basically catering, making this custom to someone that wants it. And I know there is companies out there that already make these and like ship them to people. So I think they're going to love it, honestly, once it's all done. So anyway, I'm going to let that glue harden and dry up. And tomorrow morning sometime, I will be pouring the concrete in there, and I'm going to carefully fill in the concrete inside the numbers with maybe a toothpick, ensuring that all the concrete is in there. And then around the number, I'm going to saturate the numbers really good with concrete. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to slowly fill it. And then eventually I'm going to fill all of it. That way, when I remove it, there won't be any missing spots, no air bubbles in the numbers, anywhere around the numbers. Around is probably fine. I can always, cover them up if I need to. But for the most part, the numbers is where the detail is at. So yeah, I think they're going to love it. And then I'm going to use some white acrylic paint and black acrylic paint, water-based. I'm going to, make sure that it dries as much as possible. And even if I have to hit it with a heat gun, that way the paint can really get absorbed in the pores of the concrete. So it won't, wash away or whatever. So yeah, that's the way you people out there can do it. And that's the way that you guys can make money on the side if you guys have an engraving machine. Because we can use these type of little things for a bunch of projects. I was even thinking like origami projects. Like someone made this planter here, and I bought it with a silicone. It's like a silicone circle block. When I pour concrete in here, this is what comes out. So imagine making like your own origami type of, I don't know, even like a coaster, right? Like coasters things, those things for the cups or whatever. Imagine making those all day long with detail inside and then selling them to concrete people. So you can technically draw whatever you want in there with a computer, print it out, and then all the concrete guy has to do is pour concrete, level it off, and then when they remove the concrete, they'll have something that they can display. And that engravement would have to be it would have to be a smooth surface with a slight design to go in. It would have to be smooth, but a little bit bumpy, but not completely. I don't know. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So it would have to be something like that. So Yeah, that's really all I can think of right now. Yeah, that's all I can think of. But even with these concrete blocks, I don't just have to put font on one side. I was thinking that I can honestly put font on all the sides. Like, it has the number. See, I can say the number, and I can grab a pen. And oh, look at, I even bought a magazine for the scroll saw. Arts and crafts type of stuff. So watch. So the number can be here. And then over here, it can have like a smiley face. Over here, it can have like a heart. Over here, it could have another smiley face. I don't know, something creative. On the top, it could have like welcome. On the top, it can say like welcome. And then providing those options to people. So when they take it home and they put it by the door, they'll have their address. And then at the same time, it will say like welcome to our home or home sweet home or something creative, you know, with different fonts, different. It could even, this box can be like a, it could have art like butterflies, hearts. It doesn't even have to be like just something like a block of concrete with a number. You know what I mean? It could have a variation. So yeah, that's just something that I was thinking right now. So when people go online, they'll be able to, you know, come up with something, select something, and, you know, they'll be able to personalize it by obviously then putting their address and then adding whatever they want on the other sides. So all of it is optional. And if you make sales like that, then you make sales. If you don't, then, you know, it's like whatever. But I'm sure a lot of people will love that idea. So some of you out there that have money that can build a website, that can get like leads and stuff like that, I think that would be great. This one right here, I kept this bag. It's from Panda Express. I was thinking about keeping this little panda and cutting it out with the scroll saw on some wood or something, and then keeping this just for my personal, you know, for my room. Like this Nike sign, I have this Nike sign. But I mean, if you guys want to sell them, what you guys can do is like sell it as, you know, you guys can make it, but sell it like, you guys would have to tweak the title and write something like, you know, a used Nike sign. That way people can think, oh, this person didn't make it. This person purchased it somewhere and he's sick and tired of it. And hey, I own a fucking clothing store and I could use it for my store or whatever the fucking case might be. So like even that Panda Express, you know, someone can buy it, whoever's in love with Panda Express, or the companies can buy it so they can display it in their shop or whatever the case may be. But yeah, like you look at this Nike sign, kind of like that. Boom. That simple. You know, just something creative on the side. It'll be like customizing your own box, but it'll be a concrete box. Like this one right here, this is a planner I have. And I put all the 4 card symbols. And it's just a little box, but this planner, this artificial plant is like, doesn't have the little stamp, so it keeps falling on me. But something like that, you know, something simple, something creative. And like, once you have this mold, say you have this squared mold, and someone wanted something different, well, just, you know, place that little design, like a card slot, you know, out of your engraver machine, even if it's made out of wood. Once you slide it in there and you slide the other, say on one side they don't want anything, then you will slide like a blank one, like just one piece of wood. So when they pour the concrete, then they'll get what they want. You know what I mean? And then you guys can throw that away or keep it for a future project or whatever the case may be. So anything is really usable and plausible. So don't limit yourselves out there, people. Anyways, 21 minutes strong, and I'm out.